Good evening, everybody. Let's do a gavel. Today is January 2nd, 2025. Happy New Year. Hope everybody's Christmas was good. It's 5:30 p.m. and this is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Marquette Township Board. And we are going to stand and say the pledge to start with. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call please, Randy.
Trustee Winslow is excused. She'll be a bit late. She texted me, so she should be here sometime during the meeting. Hopefully not too late, but we'll see. Trustee Kidda.
Here.
Trustee Leighton.
Here.
Trustee Everson.
Here.
Treasurer Rickauer.
Here.
Clerk Rattari is here, and Supervisor Durant.
Here.
Staff present is Manager Kangas and our attorney Roger Zappa, and our finance director Kim Clark is here, and our distinguished guest Joe DeRoche from the county board chair is with us tonight too.
Yes, thanks for joining us. Any comments? You want to say anything, Joe?
No, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Any emails by any chance, Randy?
Nope.
Okay. All right, then we just need approval of the consent agenda, which tonight consists of approval of regular meeting minutes of December 18th, 2024. We have bills payable in the amount of $232,135.93. I've got nicely typed up minutes from our supervisor Marquette County Road Commission meeting for the last 2 quarters. I thought you might enjoy reading those. There's some of the reports that I've given you when I come back. And I put in the list of the 2025 Township Committee openings that we have left. I do have 2 gentlemen I've been working with for the last couple of days, sending them information on 3 or 4 of the committees that we have open. So hopefully that might turn into something. Oh, and let me mention one more thing too. On the bottom of that list, let me tell you what it is. Nope, it's the other one, never mind. Okay, so then I also got some speed limit requirement changes from the road commission. I put that information in for you. And the Lake Superior Community Partnership sent a nice letter of congratulations to me, but it had so much more information I thought I would include that in the packet as well. You just need
I move that we approve the consent agenda presented.
Support.
all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. And then approval of the rest of the agenda, as small as it is.
I would move to approve that.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay. I just got 2 thank yous today for the community linkage side of it. Michelle Joy thanked the board for reappointing her to the DDA the last meeting, or 2 meetings ago. And Tom Bronken, if you remember, he had asked for a letter of recommendation. He sent a letter, an email back thanking the board for sending out the letter. So, believe it or not, that's all I have, community linkage. It's quiet before Christmas anymore. Are you hearing anything from anybody? No conversations in store? Good. We must be doing everything perfectly. Okay, then let's talk about board committee openings. I just put that list in, and that's what I was talking about at the bottom. The county board, oddly enough, the chair is here. County board asked Marquette County Township Association board to possibly look for somebody to cover a seat at the Marquette County Transit Authority board. That has been, Pete LaRue volunteered for that years ago. It wasn't necessarily a board appointment, but in talking to Jim Nankervis, who's the chair of the County Township Association, he's wondering if maybe the township should have a liaison on that board, on the Transit Authority board, Mark Tran.
We've always had one, so I think it would be smart to have one for the township's sake.
Yeah, we don't have it, it's not one of my regular.
No, but the county board would appoint that one.
Right.
We could, anyone from any of the townships could apply for that, but it's the county board that would appoint that.
Yeah. But Jim was wondering if the township would have a liaison. So however that works, I don't care. I want to bring it up, that we can have a conversation. It is a 3-year term, and the board meets the third Thursday of the month at 6 p.m. And there is a $40 per meeting stipend. So I added that real quick when I was putting the packet together for us to consider. So we can talk about that if you want first, or we can look at our openings. If you remember, especially being some new board members, each of us has certain committees that we work with over the course of our terms. Planning Commission is probably the most prominent because it's the most frequent too. Recreation Committee, we had a rep on the road committee, but we dissolved that committee. The ZBA is kind of a different animal because it meets infrequently, if at all, other than maybe the annual meeting. We've got the Personnel Committee is 3 people that meet, so those 2 members have changed on that, so we need to redo those. And then Randy's Election Commission, he has 2 plus himself, and then Labor Relations. So I don't have any plan on how we talk about this. If anybody's got any ideas or recommendations, somebody wants to do a certain committee or move to another one. I put the reps' names so that you can kind of see, that John Marks is gone and Ernie's gone. Give you kind of an idea. Typically, each one has about 2 committees, depending, maybe 3. What do you think?
Well, I'll take offers for the election commission, because that's the easy one. There won't be any meetings this year probably, but 26th there will be, so.
I'll do my same 3.
I'll volunteer, Randy.
Okay, so I will, at this time, I'll make,
Volunteering Randy?
well, no, I'm stuck with it, so I don't get volunteered, but, so I'll make a motion to, for the election commission to appoint, well, I'm the chair, but to appoint trustee Everson and trustee Leighton to the election commission for the term ending 12/31/28.
I'll support it.
Okay, questions, comments? All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
The election commission's done.
Okay. Maybe we better save planning until Linda gets here, because that's her committee, but, recreation? Somebody want to try that different, or? Dan, or skip it and go to a different one?
When do the committees meet?
Recreation meets once a month, Andrew, and it's, I believe, it's a Tuesday.
Second Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah, it's on our meeting thing, but it's only one meeting a month, and sometimes they haven't met, so.
Yeah, if there's not enough information, then meetings generally cancel.
The rec committee is an arm of the planning commission, so if there are things that the commission need researched or has suggestions, or we pass it to the rec committee through planning, then they will they'll do the research.
There are times where that committee can get busy, and other times where there's not a lot to work on.
So it's the 3rd Tuesday, at 5:30. I should have put that on.
Where's the straws? Who gets the lowest straw will get it, except for the clerk.
Who's got a hankering to do something? Put it that way. Who wants to do? Carl, you're smiling. What do you want to do?
I'm pretty open to what any of these positions, yeah, any of them.
Okay. Okay, we've got, Doc's got one already. Is there another one, Doc, that you'd be interested in? Doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Dan, you wanna stay on personnel or
Yeah, that's fine.
do something else?
I'll do personnel again.
I can do personnel too.
So we need another personnel then.
Yeah, well,
If it was usually the treasurer and 2 trustees, so.
well, you know.
But it should be the I think it should be the supervisor and 2
Mine's
trustees.
the third one, yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Supervisor is, but these would be the 2 trustees. But this isn't fair if we fill this up and Linda's not here. You know, I didn't know. It's not just planning, she might want to do some of these other ones, because she only had one last time.
speak of the devil, here she's here.
Aha.
We were talking about
just
you.
said-
Appointed you to about 3 different boards.
Oh,
There's unanimous approval.
I
That's
just
great,
said-
Dan. I can't wait till you scoop ice cream again.
yeah, that's not even on here,
That's, sorry,
because it's not a real
it's not a real committee.
Yeah.
So but all we've done, Linda, is the only board committee that's been filled so far is the election commission.
Okay,
Everything else is still up for grabs.
okay. What does that mean?
It's up for grabs.
Well, we've got recreation, ZBA, personnel, election is done, labor relations.
Labor Relations would be the committee that negotiates the contracts, which would occur again in 2026.
So we wouldn't be involved
Wouldn't be,
next year.
yeah.
Unless something comes up
Right,
between now and then.
yeah.
Do they meet on grievances too, John? Or no, or is that
I
the
believe
personnel
If
committee?
it gets to that point, yes.
Okay.
But we don't do grievances here. We resolve it like adults.
Well,
Exactly.
that would be good, yeah.
And now I jinx myself.
I guess.
Well, we may have a 1-hour meeting just because we can't figure this out.
We'll just, everyone gets one. And then everyone gets 2 if there's any left. So you better pick the ones you want, right? Did you do the planning commission?
We didn't because you weren't here, and I
Oh.
didn't know that that was fair, and then I said, we better not go any further because we don't have anything else anyway to choose from. I'm wondering, now I can just bring this up for discussion, I know you'd asked that you wanted to stay on there. Because I'm worried about the structure of the planning commission, we will have a new member that has real estate background. We currently have one who's an attorney, retired, which is not really a planning commission, what would be tact or, you know, it's not, the planning commission has, the law requests that you have, you know, somebody from education, someone from finance background or building background or architect or banking or, you know, something like that, so that it represents kind of the whole community. So what I was trying to find for that open seat that we just had was somebody in the building field. And the woman who wanted to take it was the realtor. So that's a good thing. We've got a business owner, we've got someone who's got some development experience and banking experience. So I was actually thinking about a builder, and I thought about Carl to do it from the board's perspective. Without putting you on the spot, Carl, I don't wanna, you know, make waves, but I was trying to think how to round out the committee itself, and nothing against you by any means, Linda. So, 'cause this is a board decision. This is not my recommendations like the rest of the committees.
So I have the education background.
Okay? Yep,
So,
that's good.
mm-hmm.
Okay, we might have to draw straws if nobody can say what they want to do.
Carl,
can
I
do
mean,
it.
I'd like to get his viewpoint on it. Linda seems like she wants it.
I did. I wanted to
I mean,
stay
you've done
for
a-
4 more years.
In my opinion, you've done a very good job also for the
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
4 years. So I didn't know what Carl's
I mean,
thought.
I'd be more than happy to do it, but it doesn't have to be me, so.
Well, and that's, some of it is to try to change things up too with new members. Not, Carl's not that new, but I don't know. Thoughts? We gotta do this.
That's a good thing, that we have more than one person that wants to be involved with it.
Yeah.
Well, I know when I was on the planning commission, I didn't want to do it any longer. Because I was here long, I was clerk and doing it, so that was even rougher than.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess my opinion would be, and you know, I think continuity is good for the planning commission, because right now we're still kind of in that building mode of some projects that are continuing from the last board term.
Master plan too.
Master plan, we got Long Ear, we got Renovari, so, you know, it's still continuing on, and our current planning commission member does have experience with that moving forward, so
Mhm.
might be hard throwing someone into the fire without knowing any of that stuff right away.
Yeah, and the person who's taking the one empty seat's already been on the commission once before, even though it's been a little while.
Yeah.
So there's stability there.
Well, I don't have a problem if Linda wants to stay there. Someone make a motion, I guess.
I'll make a motion to have Linda remain on that committee.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Okay, so Linda's the planning again?
2 down. All right. That's another hard one. ZBA is not gonna meet much if everything goes well. It's not a huge commitment for someone who maybe doesn't want to have a meeting every month.
I think that would be a good one for Carl. He's a builder.
That's true.
Yeah, I can do that one.
I'll make a motion, we approve Carl Kidda as the board member rep to the ZBA.
I'll support that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. So personnel,
That's three positions.
yep, Dan was one of them.
I can do one of those.
And Dan, you wanna stay?
I'll stay on that.
So who's the third person? And not Randy, because
I've done a lot of personnel, I guess I'll volunteer.
Okay, that's
Who's
good.
gonna be the good guy?
Done.
I'm kidding.
3 bad ones, hey?
so I'll make a motion to approve Trustee Kidda, Trustee Leighton, and Trustee Everson to the Personnel Committee.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Recreation and Labor Relations left. Dan's got 2, Carl's got 2, John's got 2. Linda, you've got 1. Do you have a preference?
Recreation.
Recreation.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve Linda Winslow as into the Recreation Committee as the board rep then.
Support?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And personnel, okay, just labor relations then. Wanna try that one, Andy?
Sure. I don't know.
You show up to the meeting and you rubber stamp everything I asked you to rubber stamp.
Yeah, I got.
In the meetings,
It's actually been pretty smooth sailing so far.
And the meetings are during the day, so they're no evening meetings.
Unless we need to do an evening meeting.
Yeah, we haven't even had any, really. I
Well-
know your schedule's tight, that's
I'll
why.
make that into a motion.
I'll support.
Looks like you're appointed.
Right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. So planning is Linda. Recreation is Linda. Zoning is Carl. Personnel is Carl, Dan, and John. Election is Dan and John. And labor relations is Sandra. That worked pretty good? All right. So we just have to make sure that when we do any kind of emails to them, that we've got the right, if you've got a block default, that the right names are in the right spot.
I think the only thing I have to do, I think the committees that need the oaths are planning and the ZBA, correct, Roger? I think.
Yeah, I have it.
That
Yes,
need
and the DDA, but I realize that wasn't what we talked about here, but, and there are one or two others, I would take a look at that and double check.
Recreation,
I don't
No.
think so.
That's
I've got it in my
probably
book
funny
that you sent.
committee.
I put it in
Okay.
my book.
I don't think the
put everything
election
in.
commission, they will have to take an oath for that. Well, you can let me know.
I will check on it tomorrow and confirm.
Okay. So let's go back to the transit authority idea. I did put in the packet the current members as of 2024. You'll see Pete LaRue's name is on there, so he's not anymore. So what do you think? Is one of you, I guess if this is totally a county board, we wouldn't have
Yeah.
the
The
ability
county
to
board
do a
appoints the
liaison.
person. And when I was on that group, you had to apply to the county board.
Yeah.
So that's really,
So it doesn't have anything to do with the person could, if you want to. I mean, this is going out to all the 19 townships. You don't have to, and then they would decide.
Yeah.
Um,
I guess my opinion would be is if anyone on this board is interested to do that, they could apply to the county board and the county board will make that final decision. It doesn't have nothing to do with us, and you can be in both. There's no conflict of interest in those offices, so.
And then you can still come back and report to us and kind of keep us in the loop of what's going on. So think about it. Yeah, and I brought it up because Jim Nankervis said maybe you want a township liaison because you're in the township, you know.
Well, you could,
If we don't want to do it that way and we want to leave it with the county,
I mean, you could have someone from the board go to their meetings, but it really wouldn't, they have no say in the meeting. They'd have to be a board member. They could give public comment and report back, but it'd be almost like the solid waste, you could go there and
listen, yeah.
listen, yeah.
Okay, so that's just up to you guys. What do you think? Good. Okay, I will let him know. Let's see. Then we just need to find out about a work session date to talk about our policies. And Andrew was just telling me, and Michelle did last week too, that the treasurer's department's got some policies they want to include in the packet that we put together at some point. So
Sooner than later,
he can just get that to me whenever. He's just getting them to review.
yeah.
So I've got foot surgery on the 22nd. So if you want to try to do something before that, that's totally fine. If you want to wait till maybe like the first or second week of February, depending on, I can get around on crutches.
Well, this is our 3 Wednesday, or our long month with the 2 weeks in between after the second meeting, so maybe the Wednesday, the 29th.
so I'm gonna be out of town and I won't be back till that second week in February. But I'll be here till the 19th.
The 19th.
Are we in a hurry for this? Do we want to try to do it?
I'd rather do it sooner than later so we get our policies in place and in order. I don't think it's gonna take that long, cause really,
An hour, because
Yeah.
we'll put something together, we'll have the recommendations. to
it's
pass.
basically looking at the existing policies we have, what's working, what maybe we should adjust, and just move forward from there.
We already have a small tweak to make to the policies and procedures manual as a result of the fire department updates.
Yeah.
I can do,
How's the 17th? It's a Friday, but,
it'd have to be after 3.
oh, yeah, no, that would work, 16th. 16th, I'm going to Escanaba again.
15th, I don't know,
Board meeting?
we could, it's, yeah, 5, we could do it at 3 o'clock. I'm off that day. And then just have a bite to eat before the board meeting, maybe then.
Well, that'd probably be good. Then you're just really using one day for
Yeah.
people. It's hard sometimes when you have a day and then another day and
Yeah.
another day.
How does that look at your schedules?
So 15th at 3 o'clock then?
We can get her done, that
Does that work? That looks good.
Then we can maybe get a sandwich in between meetings then for dinner and,
John, does that work for you?
Yep.
Okay. I don't think we need Roger, unless somebody thinks we do.
well, he'll look at them anyway.
We need him on the back end,
Yeah.
for sure. He gets to fix
Not so much
all our
the
mistakes.
discussion.
We don't
Okay.
make any.
So I'll make,
So do we want a work session or a special meeting?
No,
We
it'll
wanna
be-
try to-
I'd rather have it be a work session so it's more smoother flow and then there, any adjustments in policies we can make, we can bring it to the first meeting in February then.
That sounds good.
And then we have a work session this Monday,
Next Monday,
the
yeah.
6th at 5
5.
p.m.
That one, you know I will be out of town.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll make a motion that we schedule a work session for township policies review on January 15th at 3 o'clock.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, good, that's done. Just in a couple weeks putting them together. All right. Okay, I don't think we've had any committees to worry about as far as meetings, but
The planning commission didn't meet.
yeah, with the holiday. Any comments? We're at the end. Because we can hit by 6 o'clock. I'd almost beat you.
Well, sure.
Okay.
Joe DeRocha, Marquette County Commission. Pleasure to see a well-oiled machine in operation. Nice sharp meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year and thanks for all you do for others because these guys do a great job.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay, any announcements from anybody?
Oh, yes. For this billing now, the adjustments to the water, sewer, and garbage will be on the, I assume they're on the January billing, John?
Correct, and they went out to the post office today.
Okay, so any of the residents watching this meeting, the adjustments for the new budget year are now in place for that. And I'll make sure the correct budget and fee schedule is posted within the next few days too. We had the draft up there, so it's final, so I'll make sure that's posted. And we have a public works truck still on bid till January 10th out there in this parking lot. I checked with Andrew today, there's no bids as so far, so if anyone's interested in a truck with a plow and a crane on it, minimum bid is $10,000 and until next, the 10th of January, it's up on bid, so,
Less than 40,000 miles on it.
yeah. I think the crane's worth a couple $1,000, eh, John? Yeah.
For the right person, yes.
Okay, any other announcements? Anything from John, our favorite manager?
Doesn't look like we're getting out of here at 6, so I'll take another half hour. I only have one thing for next meeting. Come prepared to refinance all of our buildings so they are no longer held as collateral. We will be converting our mortgages to bonds, and none of the buildings will be held in collateral, and there's a very good chance that we will just convert them right over with Incredible Bank that currently holds the mortgages, and that will save us some early prepayment penalties. So I expect Tom Colas from Miller Canfield will be attending remotely to advise us on that.
And John, too, that's part of the process in getting the water treatment plant, right?
It's the first step to selling bonds to purchase part of the water treatment plant and then upgrade our Cox booster station and then our share of the Lincoln booster station, assuming that the city's on board. We know from the staff level they seem to support the proposal. We're just waiting on the city commission to concur, and then we would hopefully be selling bonds for that too.
Okay. Any questions for John? We can do all of our motions.
Okay, the first motion was to approve the consent agenda as presented, and that was approved. The second motion was to approve the regular agenda as approved, and that, or as presented, and that was approved. The third motion was to approve trustee Everson and Leighton to the election commission, and that was approved. The fourth motion was to approve trustee Winslow to the planning commission. That was approved. The fifth motion was to approve trustee Everson, trustee Kidda to the ZBA. That was approved. The sixth motion was to approve trustee Kidda, Everson, and Leighton to the personnel committee. That was approved. The seventh motion was to approve trustee Winslow to the recreation committee. That was approved. The eighth motion was to approve treasurer Rickauer to the labor relations committee, and that was approved. And the ninth motion was to schedule a work session to discuss township policies on January 15th, which is a Wednesday at 3 o'clock, and that was approved.
Great. So we will, as John said, have some paperwork for refinancing buildings at the next agenda. And we will also put a letter from Attorney Zappa on there for a rate increase, which is totally fine by me.
A modest rate increase, not horrible.
So that's it for next time so far. Anything you want to share? Any comments? Glad to be here, right?
New year.
Yeah. Okay, so, yes, a reminder, work session Monday at 5. The Brownfield Authority has asked that we allow them to explain how that works, and TIFs, and all those good things. And one of the Renovari developer partners will be here, I believe in person, and maybe one online besides. So Randy's going to set up a Zoom, just in case somebody else that you know might want to be interested. And then January 15th is our next board meeting. Is that it? Dan?
I have one final comment. I'd just like to make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. 6:04, not too bad.